Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the virtual Ipswich Vauxhall Stadium for what promises to be a fantastic night of action. It's the one we've all been waiting for as three of the biggest pages in Bangor media go head-to-head. We've got, of course, being hosted here by Caged and with their captain, Matt Josie. We've also got Northern Bangers with their captain, Dippy, Danny Potts. And we've also got Totally Trash with Ben A standing in for Brett Gedney, who unfortunately can't make it due to work. We've just had some great practice. The cars look fantastic. And the person I need to introduce you to the most is going to be the commentator for the evening. That's Jordan Hollands. Good evening, Jordan.
Good evening, James, and good evening, everyone else. Yes, this is the one we've all been waiting for. It's all about bragging rights tonight on who is the number one Bangor media page. The team captains have got their armies together, and we're just about ready for action.
Yeah, it's good. We're going to do a quick rundown of the teams later, but first I'm going to introduce you to the man that will be leading out the Northern Bangers army. That is Dippy Danny Potts. Good evening, Dippy.
Good evening.
So, are you feeling confident?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I've been looking forward to this one for a while. So, do you want to quickly give us a rundown of who's on your team and who we should be keeping an eye on?
Well, I can't say too much because I don't want to give too much away, but we've got a nice mixture of drivers and crashers. So yeah, we're not going to give too much away, but
well, I look forward to that as we go on. And also, hello to the man who'll be captaining Totally Trash tonight. Hello, Ben.
Good evening.
Hello. Yeah, not too bad. How are you feeling? Confident?
Very, very confident.
Very confident. Obviously, the paint jobs have been fantastic. The skins look great. You're definitely come prepared for this one.
Oh yeah, Brett's been up most nights till 3-4 a.m. painting these.
Yeah, they look absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to let you two captains go back to the pits and get your teams ready. Thanks for coming in and saying hi. And we're just about to start to get ready for heat number 1.
Thank you very much.
So the running order for this evening, we're going to start off with 6 heats of 15 laps, a final of 25 laps, and a destruction derby. The heats will be scored 20, 15, 10 and 5 for the top 4 cars, and no other points be given out. The final will be double points, and the DD will be 20 points for the winner and 10 points for second. We'll keep you updated with the scores as we go. But Jordan, how are you feeling for this? I mean, obviously we're both part of Cage, but tonight I've got my host and steward cap on. Obviously, you're here as the commentator. Matt's out there leading the troops. How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I've been so looking forward to this week. Obviously, there's been a lot of banter flying between the teams, and yeah, I think it should be a good night. I'm going to be very impartial to all 3 teams. All the guys have put in so much effort over the last couple of weeks, and we can't thank them enough. And obviously, one thing that should be mentioned is the team colours to look out for. Team Caged will be in the cars with a black front, black rear, black roof and pillars with an orange stripe down the middle. Team Northern Bangers are in orange cars with black roofs and pillars. And Team Totally Trashed are in the silver cars with red roofs and pillars as well. And obviously, Totally Trashed are in them 8 crowns as well. Almost similar to Team Extreme at that Skegness Unlimited Pre-85 team reunion last year. But it's set to be a fantastic night, James.
Yeah, it looks really good. So we have had a couple of last-minute changes to the teams. Jordan, if you've got the team sheets there, if you just do a quick rundown of who's in each team.
Yep, so for Team Caged, it is number 2, John Bricknell, 29, Matt Josie, 58, Carl Parry, 116, Joshua Betting, 262, Buddy James, 528, Owen Hunt, and the current CWS Series leader, 811, Kieran McIver. For Northern Bangers, they have the very popular and talented skin painter, that's number 1, Frederick Clydesdon, 98, Drew Wilson. I wonder what his opinions are of me. That's a joke for the Instagram stories. 99, Shady Goff. 244, Jack Bunyan. 400, Danny Potts. 402, Jamie Potts, that's Danny's brother. 478, Craig Royal from the Levellers. And 622, Harvey Webb. And then lastly, for Team Totally Trashed, we have number 11, Luke Garmston. 20, Josh Matchin. 32, Callum Reed. 162, the Viking, Let's Sprint Shaw. 466, the man himself, Ben Aves. And 610, Devon Usher. So it's set to be a very intriguing night with all teams looking similarly equal in talent and wrecking power that they've got. So it should be a very good night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it immensely. We are pretty much there. The cars are just lining up. So we're going to hand you over very shortly to the virtual starter. I'm just informing the guys on chat that we're ready to go. And we'll be ready for our first 15-lap heat. So as you see there, the countdown has started. Well, no, the countdown has stopped. I think Matt's just about to restart it again. And then we'll be handing over to Jordan Hollands for your play-by-play commentary. So it's a pleasure to be back up here in the commentary box with you, Jordan. It's a bit of a last-minute thing, of course. Ed Fahey, your usual partner in crime, up in the commentary box, as couldn't make it today. Sometimes real life happens around bangers, and as hard as that is to believe.
Yeah, real life has got in the way of Ed once again, but it's a pleasure to be in the virtual commentary box with you, James. Now, it should be a really good night. I'm sure there'll be a lot of banter, a lot of big hits, and a lot of really good racing as well.
Yeah, exactly. How impartial do you think we're going to be able to be?
Oh, I think we'll be very impartial. I think we'll do our job just fine.
Okay, and as our camera cars go, we're about to go. And we are green on Heat 1, 15 laps of Ipswich. Jordan.
Here we go then. The virtual Vauxhall Heath Stadium plays host to the virtual bragging rights. It is WEBACRASH. Looks like the early race leader for Team Totally Trashed is Darryl Page. And 318 there comes through the turns 1 and 2. Looks like it's a Team Totally Trashed 1-2. So a very good start for these boys.
Excellent start from them, but Matt Josie as well there in third. Hopefully there to pick up the points. Northern Bank, although Danny Potts is challenging him. We've also got, it does a very good start for Totally Trashed here. We know, as we've heard, the teams have been doing their tactics. We've got to see who's hanging back for the stopping and who's going for the racing.
Drew Wilson, I think, just getting caught up with his teammate in a big yank as they go into turns 1 and 2. Obviously, yeah. Drew is no stranger to putting it about.
Choose your words carefully there, Jordan. And so as we see, Viking is still winning. Viking, of course, the winner of the first Caged Open we had as well. So no surprise to see him out at the front, but we are 4 laps in and he seems to be there taking the lead.
See there, Luke Lumsden, very popular young driver online, and it looks like he's going well here tonight.
Yeah, of course. There was a bit of controversy, wasn't there, at the Mildenhall event about whether or not it was his dad racing, but as we can see here, if it was Garmo himself in there that night, then it's obviously showing how fast he is. And 5 of the top 6 are Totally Trashed right now. Northern Bangers have Harvey Webb there also in the points positions, but at the moment, it's could we see a silver wash? And as they go in down there on the Burton Power Bend,
I just think on the exit of turn 4 there, the Kent comes bend. I think Matt Josie, the captain of Cage, was hit with a head-on by one of the team Totally Trashed. I didn't quite work out who it was. See, I think that's Callum Reed there, Ben Nade's getting caught up.
2 Totally Trashed cars on Jesus, and Matt Josie goes right in.
Josie goes in. Drew Wilson goes in that beautifully prepared Jag there as well.
And Case are up into the points. We've got Kieran McIver in third at the moment. Harvey Webb from Northern Bangers takes the lead.
It's Harvey Webb in the lead of the race there as Viking was caught out. So you've got a few Northern Bangers cars here on the Burton Power Bend, turns 1 and 2.
The driver's going on Oppo, and Freddie takes out Buddy.
Buddy, of course, of Team Caged. A very, very good driver in real life and online. He's won a couple of races in the Cage. Well, so Jackin Jr. goes in. Weasel Jr. goes in as well. Yeah, who's Freddie going for now? Yeah. He's going for
that's also a black cross for 601 for cutting the corner there on turn 2.
See, this is where the benefit of having a steward comes in the commentary box.
No, I'm just a marshal in real life. Steward in
John Bricknell went in there on Frederick Leasden, as Dan Klin was also getting caught up in the action. He's just squeezing Garmo into the Armco there. Harvey Webb in the lead as we head down into the final 5 laps of this one. Northern Bangers currently looking very good.
Oh, and 63. 63 puts a big hit there on 466. It's still Harvey Webb. But we did Kieran McIver there in second. He's up. We know how fast it is at the moment. At the moment, there's got one from each team in the top 3, and Dippy in the final points positions. And here we go. Oh, stops on Oppo.
Diesel Jr. gets caught up on the inside marker tyres on the exit of turn 2. He was just trying to avoid the carnage that unfolded in front of him. But he is heading on to the final lap now. It is 6-2. Harvey Webb still in the lead of this one. It looks like he's got a couple of totally trashed cars in front of him. I wonder what we'll do with these guys. As someone from, I think John Bricknell are just trying to squeeze him up, and Harvey Webb slowed down.
Go on, Kieran. Go on, Kieran. Sorry, no, not being biased.
It took us just towards the end of Heat 1 to be biased, or for James to be biased there, ladies and gents. But it looks like Harvey is going to come through and take the opening heat race for Northern Bangers. A great drive by the young man there. Obviously, the son of 622 Gary Webb and the nephew of 822 Alan Webb. Again, both drivers.
Kieran McIver's moved up to second. I think he might have just crossed the line as well.
Yeah, so Team Cage getting some points there, and Drew Wilson, a great drive for Northern Bangers. He looks like he's going to come through in third, maybe. Yep, Drew Wilson in third for Northern Bangers. And it looks like after starting the opening few laps so well, I think there was a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the cards at one point for totally trashed. They might just come through and scrape 5 points, courtesy of 162 Viking Brent Shaw. That's unless Dippy has anything to say about that.
So there we go. It looks like it's going to be, at the end of the first race, it's going to be 30 points for Northern Bangers, 10 points for Cage and 5 points for Totally Trash.
Oh. The boys certainly got stuck in there in that opening heat race of the night.
Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. What a great start. That's the great thing about team racing, isn't it, Jordan? Because you know that people, if they're not going to be winning, they're going to be doing that. I'm sorry, I'm also just saying, I was going to leave Jordan for you to do a very quick review of that, as I've got people coming up to race control asking me for clarifications on stuff. So my steward hat's going back on for a minute.
Yeah, certainly. I think, obviously, we are going to stick with the rules tonight. So that's no oppo on the straights, no cutting corners, no lunging, no pinning, all the rules you associate with Wreckfest. But other than that, it's anything goes. National Banger rules. And as I said in commentary, Marshall Keno will certainly be keeping a close eye on things, and he will be impartial to everyone, despite what he said in commentary when he got a little bit excited after Harvey Webb was slowed down on the final lap of Heat 1. But it was a great drive by young Harvey. Very, very good driver. Obviously in the junior banger ranks at the moment, but I'm sure he'll be moving up to the nationals when old enough. It must be said as well, one thing we forgot to mention in the introduction, that each team captain has bet £10 tonight. So that means the winning team will win £30 to donate to a charity of their choice as well. So once that's all out the way and done with, we will post the confirmation of that on the Cage Facebook page. And as well, courtesy of J-Race Media, there is also £5 going to Best Presented Team, which we will sit and decipher. Try and work out which team was the best presented. Obviously, we've got Totally Trash Blair 8 smart crowns. Northern Bangers, some very smart paint jobs, especially for 98 Drew Wilson in that Jaguar XJ6. So yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. We'll try and get some scores on the doors for you in a minute.
Hello, Jordan. I'm back, and after a quick review, it is going to be a final warning for 63 for leaning anymore, and he will be deducted points and possibly loaded. So we'll go from there. And also, I was also said 601. 601 also got a black cross for corner cutting, but obviously for no deductions for that.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Thanks very much to our steward of the meeting, Marshall Keno, Lemon himself. James, you actually sitting there in your Marshall outfit, good old orange jumpsuit.
Yeah, no, it's too hot for that today, mate. I've spent all day in the zoo in the boiler, and so at the moment, I'm just having to try and stay as cool as possible.
Well, that's good to hear. I don't blame you. It is very hot. I've got a fan blowing on me here. It's quite nice, getting a nice cool breeze.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting for a couple of drivers to be able to rejoin. I think a couple of technical issues as well. So.
James, have you got any scores at the minute we can look at after heat one? I know that.
Sorry, John. Yeah, the scores are as following. Northern Bangers are on 30 points, Caged are on 10, and Totally Trashed are on 5. Although, of course, it's very early on, so we'll see how that progresses as we go.
Certainly. We have 7 more races for you coming up tonight. Obviously, we have 5 more heat races before a grand final, and then a DD to finish off proceedings.
Okay, so you can see there that the warning has been put into the chat box. The drivers have been warned. Obviously, not everyone's happy. I think you probably get a bit more than usual. You probably get a little bit more than usual with it being a team event. Everyone, of course, wants their teams to win, and and therefore would want to see a driver loaded up. Try to avoid that where possible. We are ready in the drivers up now, so we should be ready for Heat 2 shortly. But Jordan, that was a great first heat, wasn't it? It's exactly what we were expecting.
Aged World Series rounds that we've seen. The action will only pick up as the evening goes on, and this being a team meeting, as you quite rightly said, there's sure to be some even more bigger crashes.
And here we are green.
Here we go, then
Our camera car struggling to get out of the way there. It reminds me of last week.
It is Devon Usher leading the way for Team Totally Trashed.
Jack Bunyan now seems to have taken the lead.
Is Jack Bunyan. So Jack's obviously particularly lead somewhere for Northern Bangers. Obviously, Jack, a very, very quick driver, was so unlucky not to win the Cage Virtual Open. He was ironically stopped on the last corner by his Northern Bangers teammate tonight.
Oh, so Adam
actually by 610 Devon Usher.
Oh, but Freddie goes on the offer and just misses, but the silver wash is still there. Number 20 leading the way.
Number 20, Josh Matchin, indeed. Obviously, a very quick junior driver in his day.
Oh! 63 with a big offer. Oh!
Kieran McIver there goes in. That's a very smart Merc limo for him tonight. Drew Wilson going up on 2 wheels there. Stunt driving as Ben Aves spots himself in. Randolph himself gets it wrong sometimes, ladies and gents.
It's always good when you see a team captain putting themselves in.
Yeah, it is indeed.
And so as we go, Luke Galveston now in the lead. We know how quick he is. I'm sure he's probably one of the designated runners. And Carl Parry with a great head on to Pagey down in the corner, and 63 also going in on Garmo, and that's costing the lead.
Oh, as John Bricknell goes in on Pagey as well. Dippy goes in on Bricknell, but carries on, not losing much time there. A huge gaggle of cars coming into turns 1 and 2. Kieran McIver getting caught up. And I think that is Garmo himself. So yeah, it is. As 32, Callum Reid takes lead. Obviously a number change for Callum this year. Used to be 632, but is now running as 32. As Garmo takes the lead again. Garmston leading for Totally Trashed. That man Harvey Webb is there in second position again. Matching in third and Bunyan in fourth. Well, actually, it's now Reedy in third as action carries on here. this one.
A couple of cage cars are hitting each other, but Buddy's still there on Oppo. No, he's rejoining the race now. Garmo still leading from 20. It's at the moment it's still a silver wash.
I thought Freddie was going to roll himself there. He just clipped the inside marker tyres and went up on 2 wheels, but instead he went for the head on. A shady goes in on someone from Team Caged. It's Freddie looking for, but he's got cut off there as he goes in on Garmo. Can Garmo get out of it?
He looks to have recovered, but he's got hit from behind by Freddie, and he's clipped the marker
And here
tyre.
comes Jack Bunyan, spins him out there.
I suppose that is the advantage when you know you've got 4 of your cars behind you. You can afford to spin. It's not about personal glory tonight, as long as those team points are there. Although Dippy has now gone into 3rd.
He is indeed. But it is 2 for 4. Jack Bunyan leading the way. He's having a great battle at the front with 32 Reedy, Callum Reed. Totally Trashed have got 3 cars in the points at the moment, as it stands.
Oh, Kira McIver goes in there. That was a great hit. Who's that on? That was on Freddie. A continental driver out there for Northern Bangers. I don't know what part of the north the Netherlands is, but...
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Freddie's been a great addition to the Cage World Series, and he's doing some fantastic skins for everyone as well on the game.
Absolutely, very talented graphics designer.
Getting into the closing stages of this one now, and it looks like we've had another change of lead. I think it is, well, it was 5-8, Owen Hunt in the lead, but Jack Bunyan's just retaken it.
Of course, Owen Hunt, a very late addition to the Cage team. Crispy unable to make the meeting, unfortunately, but a very capable driver is Jethro Jr., and he is he's now battling for the lead. I think he's just lost it, but he's still in there. He's still in with a shout, but one of the Northern Bangers drivers took him out there. But
I think this is the thing that we were expecting tonight. Obviously, Cage versus Northern Bangers versus Totally Trashed. Some heated moments between the cars. And a massive pile up on turn 3 there. Didn't quite see who went in there, James. Did you?
No, just too many cars to see. Jack Bunyan takes the win for Totally Trashed.
For Northern Bangers, James. It is for Jack.
Oh, sorry, I got confused by the start of his name.
Yeah, no, that's right. Obviously, TTB Jack Bunyan, but it is NB Jack Bunyan, really. That will see Northern Bangers extend their lead. The overall points so far after 2 events. This great Royal goes in on Bricknell.
What a great following from Devon Usher there.
Obviously, it's great to see Devon back on breakfast in the Cage production, as we haven't seen him since our opening virtual meeting at the Stanlake Arena.
And it's a 1-2 for Northern Bangers. Jethro Jr. picking up the points for Cage in 3rd, and Totally Trashed picking up the 4th place.
Yeah, some absolutely brilliant moments, that one. I think my favourite has to be Gandalf Ben Aves going in on a 98 Drew Wilson, but Drew just managing to get away, meaning Ben put himself in. But I think Ben is so used to being behind the camera, he's probably trying to take a photo of Drew Wilson's Jag.
Wow, yeah. Such great work has gone into the paint jobs. They're definitely worth a photo. Again, sorry, John, I'm just going to very quickly leave you to go and do my race control duties. I'll be back very shortly.
Obviously, like I said, after the last one, it can get quite heated at times. This is all for fun and for charity, but the drivers do want to win, and they do take it very seriously as well. So I think Marshall Keno is going to be a busy man tonight, just sorting things out, but obviously he can see it more clearly than when he's racing, thanks to the camera work by Stephen Challenger tonight. Obviously, don't forget to go check out his Facebook page, Wreckfest live streaming. That's on Facebook. Stephen basically streams nearly every single night, racing whatever, bangers, saloon stock cars. I think he was even racing lawnmowers the other night, or Ninja. Yeah, it's really good to see the diversity that is evolving with this Wreckfest game.
Okay, yeah, you can see the drivers for those watching, you can see the drivers are frantically talking about rules. There's so much going on out there. It is difficult, and everyone's got their own opinion of what's going on. And we've also got, there's also a bit of lag in the server. Sometimes, again, working with the internet, it can be it's a bit difficult. Oh, I've got more drivers coming up to race control, Jordan. Sorry, back in a second.
It's absolutely fine, James. Don't worry about that. So obviously, we've been doing these Wreckfest online meetings for the majority of lockdown, but racing has started up again. We have the first UK short oval meeting with spectators tomorrow afternoon at the Stanley Arena, and obviously all tickets for that are sold out. They have announced some more fixtures for later in the year as well.
Yep. So it's good to be going back in the real world as well. We will still carry on the cage series to start this. Sorry, I think Matt's trying to pass on my messages here, and I'm also trying to talk. So, sorry, I'm massively multitasking. I'm not very good at multitasking. They do say it's something women are better at than men, and I am useless at multitasking.
No, I was going to say, without trying to sound sexist, it probably is because you're a man. That's one for our female viewers to go yes as they clench their fists and beam with excitement and laughter.
Yep. Okay. So I think we're just about to start getting ready for Heat 3. I'll give you just before we do that, I'll quickly give you the scores. At the end of Heat 2, it was 65 points for Northern Bangers, 20 points for Caged, and 10 for Totally Trashed. However, Caged have been docked 10 points for a further offence by car number 63. So that leaves it on 65, 10 and 10. Northern Bangers taking a very early lead there. Okay, so I think the drivers will just be shortly readying up. Everyone looks ready.
So here we go. Third heat race of the night here.
And our camera car trying to get out of the way again. It's been jacked up.
It will be good for Team Cage to try and get some points back in this one after the 10-point docking in the last race. And it looks like Owen Hunt's listening to me as he takes the lead in this one for Team Caged.
Owen actually sent me a message saying, sorry he lost the lead, so because he was on 3 wheels by the end, so at least he got some points. Told him not to apologise.
3 wheels on his wagon, but he was still rolling along.
Yeah, he doesn't need to apologise. He had a great race. And as we go, it's Dippy with an early lead, the team captain leading by example, and it's probably the star of our show, our team. I've got to remember to be unbiased. The star of the Cage team, Kieran McIver, the points leader of the Cage series.
Yeah, certainly. Kieran hasn't had it all his own way tonight. Obviously, a team meeting sees form guard go out the window a little bit. But it is the man who did win the final last time out at St. Day for the late night lockdown blockbuster. Danny Dippy Potts leading for Northern Bangers Levers. Dan Glynn goes head on with someone there. I think from Totally Trashed. Again, didn't quite see the number on that, unfortunately. See, great on board here with one of the team totally trashed. As more cars get caught up on the exit up, and there, Drew Wilson's going to get jacked by someone from the team totally trashed. Someone else goes through on the inside there. As it's all kicking off in this one. Head on with a yank. Oh dear. See Harvey Webler in the Toyota Supra. He's been very, very quick tonight so far for Northern Bangers. As a great head on there between Northern Bangers and Caged. Just trying to see the number on that. Can't quite work it out. Here we go then, on board with 318. Darryl Page. Team totally trashed. Where's he currently? He's currently in 5th position. Harvey Webb still in the lead. Oh, look at the pile-up player on turn number 2. Hagey there just gets caught up on that notorious tyre marker on the inside. McCarver just taking to the infield a bit to avoid that, I think. I wonder if our Marshall Keno saw that one. Dan Clint, he's certainly been involved in the action tonight. He just goes head on there with Garmo. Lee Garmston. Luke Garmston, sorry. Getting confused between father and son there. See, we're just getting into the final third of this one then.
Yeah, you're saying getting confused between father and son, as of course so many people did at Mildenhall in the Cage World Series. But here we go. It's still Dippy in the lead. Northern Bangers 1-2, and Kieran McIver in 3rd for Cage. And Viking, Brent Shaw, who had a great time in real life on Sunday at Aldershot, jacking up Jack Starr's limo in the final race of the day.
Yeah, he did. Obviously, Viking, a great driver in real life as much as he is in the virtual world here on Wreckfest.
So Dippy there
next Saturday night at the Vauxhall Heath Stadium.
Sorry to cut across you there, Jordan, but Dippy there having to take avoiding action, but I think he's just about got away with that. It does help, like you said, when you've got the Rio Gunner behind you and Harvey Webb.
Certainly does. No, Dippy just trying to take avoiding action over again, swerving left. He's got one of the team Cage behind him, but I think he put on the brakes there. That was great driving from Dippy. Just managed to hold him up a little bit. I think that was Buddy James who latched onto the back of him, but he's come to start the final lap as Buddy James.
He's just about getting through on the Kent Cams, Ben.
Yeah, he's just about. The Viking tried to stop him there.
And we're on the final lap.
Do you want to see him through on this final lap?
Oh, and as Dippy goes down the back straight, he has got a bit of company behind him. Will he be able to do what he's been doing for the rest of the race and get through? Oh, the Cage boys take themselves out trying to stop him. But he is caught there. Is he going to get out? He is just looking like he's out. It will be the checkered flag is out, and it is for number 400, Danny Potts.
Great driving from Dippy. Never say die attitude there, and he's been rewarded with a race win there. Northern Bangers again extending their points, as I think they take a 1-2 finish with Harvey Webb coming through in 2nd position.
It looks like
it is totally trashed in 3rd and 4th by the looks of things.
Okay, yeah, so 3rd taken by Ted, 4th by the Northern Bangers, so no points for Cage this time. But Northern Bangers, again, extending their lead. They've taken, so here they take 40 points for Northern Bangers.
Wow, 40 points, that's very impressive from them. We'll get an update on what that means to the scores in a minute, once Marshall has probably sorted more things out.
Yeah, no, I've got more. Seriously, I'm sure sometimes I get more drivers moaning at me in the virtual world than I do when I'm actually at a track.
Well, I was just saying to the ladies and gentlemen at home that even in the virtual world, drivers do get very, very serious, even if it's a meeting just for fun. But we don't mind that. It means that we can have better entertainment for you guys at home.
Okay. it's all getting a bit silly now with the drivers, so I'm going to go and shout at them. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, well, this is the stuff you don't see when you're viewing racing at either Ireland and Eastbourne, Ipswich or Kingston. You don't see or hear what the stewards of the meetings have to discuss with drivers. Next, as you can see there, I think Danklin for Team Caged, maybe just having a word or two with people. It'll be interesting to see what Marshall Keno makes of everything. But yeah, speaking of rule-off fixtures, obviously before that race I mentioned the Stanlake Arena tomorrow. Next Saturday we are also racing at the Foxhall Heath Stadium, Ipswich. The BWS resumes. Obviously the last BWS round we saw before lockdown was coincidentally at Ipswich. On that occasion it was 699's Daisy Holdsworth who picked her spot on the World Final grid this year. I think currently we've got just over 80 drivers booked in for next Saturday. And also we have the National Conference as well. They kickstart their English World Qualifying Series ahead of their Championship of the World at the Foxhall Heath Stadium next July. Obviously that will be part of the Ipswich Speed Weekend. A sorely missed event this year. Obviously as well the day after we are racing at Aldershot for Back to Basics, and Stansted are also running a behind closed doors meeting as well. That is for micro national bangers. A fantastic entry, over 100 cars are currently booked in for that. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of action that gets. The promoter there, Terry Ratcliffe, has been saying on Facebook he expects it to be a wreckfest, so I'm sure it will be. Obviously, even though it is behind closed doors, Mad Jam Photography, Stephanie Cox, will be there, capturing the action on camera. And it has also been announced that they are going to live stream the meeting as well, which will be free. I think that will be done on the website. Stanlake Arena. No, sorry, not Stanlake. Stansted. See, when we resume, we will be going for heat number 4. We are halfway through the heats. Just think the drivers are just trying to sort out some issues they have with each other. We like to, obviously, the drivers shake hands and all get along. There's no fisticuffs like we sometimes see in the pits at other tracks. It's well, James, I was just saying to everyone that there's no fisticuffs, but can you just let everyone know what the drivers were saying there, or?
Yeah, so basically what it is, so basically I've gone into the drivers' chats, I've tried to calm everyone down. I can understand the point. Again, 63 is very much on his final last warning. That's why the drivers were so upset. There has been a few moves that have been more than suspect. It will be a loading if there is any more. Obviously, Cage has already been docked points for it. Again, just try to calm everyone down, try to explain we don't have eyes in the back of our head here on the thing, so we've just got to do what we can. So hopefully, just as I say that, I always think it's calmed down. Now I've just got more. I've got more evidence being submitted. Christ, you can imagine how difficult it is for actual real skids. Okay, I think so we are ready for Heat 4, and as we're going into Heat 4, it is a case of the scores are as follows. It is 105 points for Northern Bangers, 10 for Cage, and 20 for Totally Trashed. So we can see how this is going early on, but there's still a long way to go. We're not even halfway. We're just halfway through the heats. The final's double points. So here we go.
Yeah, not even halfway through tonight's proceedings at the moment, so it's still all to play for. But that is a very commanding lead already for Northern Bangers. Here we go, though, gearing up for our fourth heat race of the night. It will be another 15 laps of the Foxhall Heath Stadium.
Yep, I'm
Obviously,
just
Ipswich, a very, very quick track.
Okay, yep. So
our steward is just making sure everyone's ready.
We are, yeah. So we should be now. Here we go. Heat number 4. Oh, the camera car gets an easy.
Here we go, then.
Oh, there we go. The camera is back, and here we go. So early lead for John Bricknell.
Yep, John Bricknell takes lead for Team Caged. I wonder if they can claw back some points here as Carl Parry comes in.
Just stay down. That's
I think of a shady guff there.
Oh, and here they go.
Ready, Devon Asher going.
Pat Josie in the middle of there for Jack and Sandwich. He managed to get himself out of the way. Did Jack and Junior.
Jack and Junior getting involved in the Jack and Sandwich. The irony thing's true as more cars get caught up levers. Buddy James goes in upset. He goes in on Devon Asher and he rolls it. In fact, as Freddie comes by.
Thought Devon was going. Oh, there we go. One of his teammates giving him the nudge to get him the right way back up.
As Bricknell goes in on Shady, obviously John more interested in the crashing side of things.
And he's Dippy leading again. Captain leading by example.
Captain leading by example as well. And Dippy's a fantastic driver. Not only a fantastic driver, but a fantastic skin paint as well. Obviously helps out a lot of people with this game.
Does so much, including myself. The skills wouldn't be done if it wasn't for his tutorial website. It's Kieran McIver up into second. And Garmo in third.
Obviously, Cage need Kieran to score some points in this one, so hopefully he can go through.
Buddy James,
Buddy James goes in on Reedy. 2 real-life drivers going at it in the virtual world there. And it is Kieran McIver, is now the race leader. Jack Bunyan gets caught up there and he gets jacked by Jack and Junior. Shady and opposite as Drew Wilson comes through. Kieran Danklin just stopping Kieran there for a second, but thankfully Motorhead manages to get through.
Weasel there did try to jump to the shale but managed to hit the marker tyre, so he saved himself a back cross. Oh, 2 Cage guys hitting each other. 63 there did come from the outside in, which is what we want to see.
As Kieran there just absolutely crashes and bashes Jack Bunyan out the way. That's what you've got to do sometimes.
And it is Kieran McIver.
Obviously, he's got to watch like Power himself.
Oh, Dippy has just taken it back. Everything's changing so quickly, Jordan. I don't know how we can keep up.
And here they come into the first bend. Kieran just spinning out Dippy levers. He gets caught up. He tried to take him out. Kieran manages to get through as well. At the moment, it's a caged. Oh, I thought it was a caged 1-2 at the moment, but Dippy, Yando, and Hunter back then there, second and third. Northern Bangers versus Caged. See, I think that's Danklin. No, it was Danklin going in on Ben Aves there. Shady going in on McIver, and Kieran's in the lead of the race, but that Merc Limo doesn't look too healthy. I think he's only got 3 wheels on his wagon, but it is Owen Hunter who takes up the lead now for Caged.
Yeah, at the moment it's a Cage 1-2, but like you said, it looks like 811's suffering from technical difficulties here. Will he be able to finish the race? And he is dropping down the order. Dippy's now in second.
Yeah, Kieran will do well to score some points in this one as we're heading into the closing stages, and I think, yeah, he's dropped out the points now, he's in 5th position.
Although it is Owen Hunter.
But it's still all to play for.
So there are 5 laps remaining in this race. The boards are out. At the moment, it is now Dippy back in the lead again for Northern Bangers. And it's
Harvey Webb in second as well there. Northern Bangers 1-2.
Oh, it's hard to keep up with the lead changes, isn't it, Jordan? I don't envy you and Ed when you're usually up here. Oh, I
was going to say, now you know why me and Ed lose our voices every other Saturday.
I can completely understand that. And yeah, so with 4 laps remaining, it is Dippy in the lead.
Dippy is in the lead. Harvey Webb in second position. Luke Dunstan in third. And in fourth, it is Drew Wilson. So, at the moment,
as they all go in again,
Bangers look good for extending their lead.
Yeah, they do. They are picking. They're doing what you need to do in an event like this. They're picking their way through the corners. They've got guys blocking on the corners. And then the drivers they've got out there to try and pick the points up are just finding their way through every time.
They are finding their way through, but at the moment, totally trashed going in on Harvey Webb. 2 against 1. It's good teamwork. And that has stopped him in his tracks, and that has allowed Luke Garmston to take the lead for them guys. So, totally trashed. Could this be the fight back of dreams, as I say that? Craig Royal goes in on Luke Garmston there. Will it be enough? I think he's going to come through and take the race win. Yes, he is.
Yeah, it is. Luke Garmston's the winner there. So that is 20 points for Totally Trashed. Will Jethro Jr. be able to take second? I think he has. That is confirmed that he is taken second, I think. There are wheels all over the raceway. This is a real race with the under red now, but luckily the virtual crowd don't seem to be in much danger.
Yeah, it was a Viking went in there on shade.
Oh, that was a great...
Another massive shot there. Weasel Jr. involved.
We're just waving the last few cars through, but the point score is confirmed. It is Totally Trashed with 20 points. Cage with 15. And then 2 Northern Banger drivers picking up 10 and 5 respectively. So that is 15 points to Northern Bangers. That is 10 points to Cage. And that is a big 20 points to Northern Bangers. Sorry,
totally trashed.
Sorry, yeah.
It's all right, mate. It's all kicking off here tonight, isn't it?
I know. There's a moment. I'm surprised Kieran McIver did manage to come over in 5th in the end, but there we go. So the points as they stand: Northern Bangers 120, Totally Trashed 40, Caged 20. And I'm just going to relay.
Yeah, it looks like. So cool. Totally Trashed. They're just cutting down the lead. That Northern Bangers did increase in that one.
Yeah, Northern Bangers have done so well here, haven't they, so far? I mean, I think it's hard push, but then how many times have we seen this at Civil War, Jordan, where you think it's all over, and then someone will pull it out of the bag? I haven't done the maths to work out how many points are left available, but I think if you're a betting man, you've got to think they're going to win this.
Yeah, definitely. I think you said it there. You know, Civil War is known for tremendous fight backs and docking of points, and that's what we're going to see here tonight as well. The drivers have got to keep it clean, but they've also got to score consistently, and that is something that Northern Bangers have got absolutely spot on tonight. Totally Trashed have done very well at keeping it clean and scoring a few points. They probably need to score a few more. With Cage, though, they just need to eliminate the silly hits and the dockings as well that will ultimately could end the hopes of securing this WEBACRASH title.
And how much does that remind you of Civil War?
Yeah, immensely. It's scary how similar it is.
And it goes both ways. It's great to see how seriously everyone's taken it. I think everyone does really want to be the team that wins.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously they want that £30 to donate to a charity of their choice. So on
that note, actually, we should also explain what that's about. So each of the team captains, or each of the teams, have bet £10. The winning team gets to donate £30, and that's to a charity of their choice. And Jordan, J-Race Media have also sponsored a prize. That's a £5 for the best presented team. I think we'll probably announce that just before we go into the final, but I'm sure you're thinking about which team has taken that already. Yeah,
I've got my ideas, and I think I've got the idea of who I'm going to give like £5 to donate to a charity of their choice. But like you say, James, we'll announce that just before the final.
I think we're just getting ready for Heat 5 here.
Yeah, we are obviously in the virtual world quite lucky. The drivers don't need to repair their cars. It's just a case of hitting the refresh button and going again.
Same for the last few drivers to ready up. I think the dreams of a cage winner fade in Jordan.
But that doesn't matter, does it? Because we've had a great night so far.
Yeah, it has been really good racing. So, yeah, like I said, apart from having to deal with some drivers who are obviously a little bit upset, I think on the whole, the racing has been great. I mean, it's been difficult to keep up with who's winning. And here we go. We are green, green, green on Heat 5.
We are green, green, green. Heat number 5. 5th race of the night.
And it's Harvey Webb for Northern Bangers taking an early lead, but it is kicking off there on the edge of turn 4. Managed to get through okay. Weasel Jr., one of the levelers there, also coming through.
Yeah, Weasel Jr. coming through low in 2nd position. I think that's Callum Reid in 3rd for Totally Trashed. And Jamie Potts in 4th position. Jamie's had a quiet night so far. We haven't really seen much of him. But he's there in that Volvo estate.
Yeah, I think because he's in the Volvo estate, I think he's been the nominated wrecker at all the bangers so far, but he's found himself in a point scoring position here, so I think he's going to keep going as much as he can.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that is him coming from the inside there. As we can see, Dan Glynn's still on opposite, but he's slowing up his teammate there, Kieran McCarthy. He did it in the last race as well. And
I think, yeah, is he actually pinning his own team here? This might be the loading.
Obviously, Dan has got a little bit excited at times tonight. He has been given his fair share of warnings, but it's up to the marshal's discretion to decide what he sees fit as a punishment.
Cheers, mate.
It is Harvey Webb in the lead in this.
No pressure on me there, then.
Yeah, no pressure for you.
Great hit from Dippy there. And I think he ripped a wheel off either his car or the car he hit.
I think by the look of the angle that Merc is, I think that is a wheel on the front left corner of his car that's missing. See there, Weasel Jr.
So the Union Jack's out. We are halfway through this race.
Craig Roll leading the way, even great avoidance there from the caged car on opposite. Now he's got to get in between these two totally trash cars of Devon Asher and Josh Matchin. He's done just that. But he gets stopped. I think one of the cage cars on opposite just clipped his rear left wheel. See there, the rear view camera. No one obliging with a hit. He's still in the lead in this one though, but thankfully for him, he's got his Northern Bangers teammate Harvey Webb in 2nd behind him.
And it is Owen Hunt again, who's last minute reserve, who's definitely doing his bit for the Team Cage, who's in 3rd, followed by Reedy from Totally Trashed in 4th. Oh, huge T-bone there on the Kent Camps turn. And there are about to be 5 laps remaining. It's 5 laps on Harvey Webb in 6.22. Followed by Weasel Jr., also for Northern Bangers, and Owen Hunt. And Kieran McIver is now moved up into 4th place. So it's Northern Bangers 1-2, Cage 3 and 4. Although you've got Jack Bunyan for Northern Bangers and then a rather intimidating line of Totally Trash drivers there. It could all change in the last 5.
And it can all change so quickly here on Wreckfest. It's until you see that checkered flag and cross the line, you're not guaranteed anything on this game, and certainly not here tonight either. Not when you've got two opposition teams who would love nothing more than to crash into your cars.
So that's 3 laps left on Harvey Webb, I believe. Oh, he's picking his way around, but Freddie, his own teammate there, had to push out the way. Devon Usher's had to retire.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Devon. He's been involved in the action quite a bit.
And that's totally trashed up into second and third now.
Yep, totally trashed into second and third. It is Josh Matchin in second and Callum Reid in third. Motorhead, Kieran McIver in fourth place for Team Caged, but it is still Northern Bangers Zone at 6-2-2. Harvey Webb in the lead of the race.
They're just about picking their way through there on turn 2. And he's holding his own really well here as he comes across. And that's the win for him. That's Harvey Webb in 6-2-2. He takes the win for Northern Bangers.
Another excellent drive there from young Harvey. See, like, his car's that. I think that's Benave's car absolutely trashed.
Yeah, well, literally totally trashed.
Literally totally trashed. Very good, James.
And it is totally trashed. He took second place. Kieran McIver for Cage took third. And Owen Hunt for Cage took fourth. So that's the we've got one more heat to go before the double points final.
Yep, we do, and there's another very, very good race there. Well, again, we'll get the scores for you in a minute as we head into the final heat race. As James said before, that double points final. I tell you what, we would love nothing more than for it to go down to the Destruction Derby in the last hit of the night. That would be absolutely wonderful. I think that is something that everyone would love a Civil War to do one year.
But I do have the scores. It is 140 for Northern Bangers, 55 for Totally Trashed, and 35 for Cage. So a silver wash is probably required at some point for Totally Trashed getting this, and probably some huge points hauls for Cage to get back into this. But we have got Heat 6 coming up. Who's been your driver of the night so far, Jordan?
Oh, I think Harvey Webb has done particularly well for Northern Bangers. Obviously, he's got a couple of heat wins under his belt. I also will say, just get the drivers list up.
I think Danny Potts has been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he?
Yeah, Dippy as well, fantastic as ever. Jack Bunyan as well, always there or thereabouts. Frederick Houston as well. I don't think we've given him enough credit. He's been on opposite pretty much all night, but taking out the opposition teams.
Mm-hmm. I think. It's been some,
and as well, just one more name. Sorry, James. It's 5-8 Owen Hunt, as you say, late edition, but he's been very impressive.
Oh, sorry, I'm being sent videos again. Oh, it's amazing the amount of Jack Bunny is saying how many heats he wants to go to the pub. Jack, we can confirm this is the final heat.
Yep, the final heat, a grand final, and then the Destruction Derby to finish off the night. But obviously, as Jack wants to go to the pub, we must say we really, really, really do appreciate not only the efforts of Stephen doing the camera work tonight, but also the efforts of all the drivers and sim painters for making this meeting and indeed the entire Caged World Series a possibility. I think we have decided on the 7th round it is going to be a figure of 8 at Hednesford. Whether we run any more meetings after that, we don't know, because as we said earlier, racing is coming back.
I think that has made it harder, hasn't it? Especially trying to plan the dates out. Of course, we started the Cage Summer Series as a way to keep things going, during the I think we've got a couple of more rounds to go, and then we'll run our world final, which I'm looking forward to, especially as I've seeded myself onto the grid.
Yeah, for the amount of work you've put in, Keno, I think you definitely deserve to be on the world final grid. I know that Carl Perry has asked me what our plans are for world final, and I've said to him, we will decide on that in the future. But we are getting ready for the final heat race of the night. One thing we haven't asked each other, James, is a prediction. So, what are your predictions for this 6th and final heat race of the night?
Probably the same again, to be honest. I think Northern Bangers are just showing how well organised they are to make sure that they making sure that they get through. Make sure they get through and pick the points up. They've got guys out there ready to wreck. They've got guys out there. They've got guys out there who are capable of picking up the points. I think that shows in the score. But do you know what? You can't rule out a silver wash because the Totally Trash guys, they've seemed to have been in packs just behind, so close but not quite there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think Totally Trash have been unlucky at times tonight, and like we always say, it is a cliche term, but you do need that little bit of luck in sport and in banger racing, and that's even more prominent here online as well. So if they can get the luck in this one and in the final, we could be in for an interesting DD to end the night.
Cool. We're just here we go. We are final heat of the night.
6 feet race. Jack Bunyan will be happy. Then he can get to the pub sooner.
Oh. That scoreboard isn't very helpful because it doesn't seem to show us who's leading.
No, but we can tell you in 6th position it is 8-11 Kieran McIver. So there we go. Obviously the game lagging a little bit there.
63 going on Oppo there on the...
Yeah, then Craig Royal, Weasel Jr. meeting him head on as someone from Totally Trash there just leaning in. I think that was 400, Danny Dippy Potts.
We have said we'll be a little bit leaning with leaning or hits tonight on the basis that it is a team meeting and therefore everyone wants to hit a car that's not in the same colour as them.
I think that was a fair leaner. I don't think leaning was the right phrase. It was a good push out wide and rubbing his racing, shall we say, on that one.
And it's a Northern Bangers one too, with Dippy, who's been absolutely outstanding all night, being followed by Bunny Jr., who is, again...
It is Northern Bangers 1, 2, 3 with Harvey Webb up there again. Oh, it's all kicking off low on turn number 3. Bit of a pile-up with 3 Northern Bangers cars in there. Could this be the luck that Team Caged and Team Totally Trash need as Drew Wilson goes in on Jack and Jr. John Bricknell goes in on Willow. McIver gets taken out by, I think that was Devon Usher. No, it wasn't Devon Usher.
That was the fantastic hit from the Yonko and Weasel there as well, blocking. Can Kieran get through? We know how fast he is, but he's got to do some picking here.
Certainly is. Kieran McIver just getting caught up with Craig Ball. He's got to try and get out of that.
He was getting pinned there. Did we see who that was? Was that Weasel?
That was Weasel Jr., yep. Harvey Webb in the lead of the race. Owen Hunt in second for Team Caged. And third for Team Caged as well was 8-11 Kieran McIver. And Team Caged have actually taken the lead. As it looks like Harvey Webb was spun there. It's a Caged 1-2. Could this be the momentum swing they needed? Probably getting into the final few laps of this one now. Pagey there, just getting caught up with Jack and Jr. Matt Josie. Owen comes through and Pagey just trying to take him out there.
There looks like there's about 5
trying to hold
remaining.
off everyone else.
So Owen Hunt and Kieran McIver in a 1-2 at the moment. Although Owen Hunt dropped down pretty quickly there. I'm guessing he got stopped. Didn't quite catch that from our view.
Yeah, that was unfortunate again for Owen. Again, showing absolutely brilliant pace and desperately, desperately unlucky.
Sorry, John. I've just lost my live streams. I'm going to have to trust you on this one at the moment.
That's absolutely fine. We are getting into the final few laps of this one then.
Oh, we are back. Or at least I am.
Guys, it's good to see that you're back. Because this could be a thrilling end to this one. As I think that Shady Guff on opposite. Shady's been a great entertainer in the Cage World Series, and he's doing that again tonight for Northern Bangers. Is Harvey Webb in the lead of the race, though. Jeffro Jr. in second. Motorhead in third, I believe. As Harvey gets spun there on turn 2. I think that's Dan Kling going in on Devon Usher. So it's all kicking off. McIver's involved, and McIver takes the lead of the race for Team Caged. He's got Jeffro in second, Jeffro Jr., and who does slip up the inside, but Dippy's there as well. Oh no! Dippy gets spun. That gives Kieran McIver a couple of car lengths, but stops there again on turns 1 and 2. This is the thing, you think you get a couple of car lengths, and then the next bend there's someone else on opposite taking you out, and it is a little bit unfortunate.
And so we're down to the... I think we're on the last lap now, aren't we, Jordan?
Yep, we are just about to go into the last lap, I think, as Kieran gets caught up there. I think that was someone just on the exit of turn 4. I think that was just inside the head-on zone. And I think that was Devon Usher there, just up in Motorhead for a brief while. And again, someone from Northern Bangers, I think that's Shady, or it could be...
But it is Kieran McIver that takes the win.
I think that is the first...
Caged.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is the first win for Team Cage tonight, so some valuable points there for them. As I look at Drew Wilson's Jag, absolutely mangled as his teammate Shady, just trying to give him a helping hand there.
I've also got another complaint from a driver that 601 went on Oppo on the straight. That could be a docket of points.
Yeah, I have to say, I saw that as well. I think that was when he went head on into 811 Kieran McIver. I said in Comchi, could have been just inside the head on zone, but we don't like couple run straights.
Yep, there we go. So as that heat finishes, we've got the results here in a second. Here we go. So the winner, 811 Kieran McIver, followed by Dippy for Northern Bangers in second. Third was Owen Hunt in 528. And fourth was Harvey Webb for Northern Bangers. So it's a Caged Northern Bangers, Caged Northern Bangers. And I'm now going to go and do my shouting at drivers bit. I'll see you shortly, Jordan.
See you shortly, Keno. I'll tell you what, for the amount of virtual running Keno's done tonight, he'll have lost quite a bit of weight, and he'll be able to get into a slimmer pair of trousers as well. But no, in all seriousness, Keno's worked extremely hard sorting out the skim packs and everything else in the build up to the meeting, and obviously acting as a steward tonight, as I think it's fair to say we saw this coming. Drivers all looking for their opponent to hit. It's not like in individual meetings where you can hit anyone. You've got to keep an eye out and be tactical for who you're hitting to make it a good one for your team to benefit from. And that's exactly what Northern Bangers have got right so far, as James alluded to after the last race. But we are moving on to a double points grand final before DD. To finish off proceedings, it will be interesting to see whether there are any more dockings for that, because I can tell that in the drivers group chat they are discussing a few things. Obviously, as James said, drivers can get a bit, caught up in the moment sometimes, even in the virtual world. And they just need that calming influence to change things up and to calm them down. So hopefully Tino can resolve it. We are just, I think, deciding what we are going to do for the final. But I won't say anything just yet unless we decide to actually do it. But it's been a great night so far. Obviously, thank you to everyone for tuning in as well. Obviously, a lot of build up to this one. Just have a look at the comments quickly. It's good to see that everyone's tuning in and getting involved in the comments. Kevin Bunyan says, go on, Jack. Obviously, Jack, a very quick driver, like I said earlier. Joshua Batty, who unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, has said that Dan is the entertaining one. If not, it would be Hot Rods. I think that's a fair comment, but obviously we do like the hits to be clean and everyone to be happy as well. Which is, I think, that one thing we have, in a way, found it hard. Obviously, we're trying to keep you, the viewers, happy at home. We're trying to keep the drivers happy as they are the ones racing and spending their time with us and in the Caged World Series. And we also just want to make the whole experience enjoyable for everyone. Lee Garmston, the father of Luke, who is out there racing for Totally Trashed, said, well done, Luke. Your granddad was watching with me, so that's good to see. It's a family show. Barry Everett says, go, go, go. He's obviously won just for the crashes. It's good to see that everyone is tuning in and really buying into this. But Ben,
Good evening.
obviously things are getting a little bit heated out there, but how did you find those heat races?
Good fun. Real good laugh. Few dodgy shots, but take it on the chin, and the final is all to play for, I'm sure.
See, Keno's back now.
Yeah, so we've got the scores. Dippy, I don't know if you've seen the scores that have gone, but at the moment it stands at 140 points for Northern Bangers and 55 for Totally Trashed. You must, while it's still all to play for, a silver wash would put you back. You must be happy at the moment with the way your team has performed.
Yeah. I was just wondering if Cage were going to turn up tonight.
Doesn't look like it, Dippy.
No, yeah, it's been difficult. I'm going to put that down to the fact I'm not racing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're the one that brings in all the points.
Yeah, no, it's been difficult. As I've said to the drivers in private on the other parts of the chat, there has been a bit of dirty racing style. We're doing as much as we can to deal with it. It is difficult. It is. But especially in the team event as well. I think, as in real life, team events do tend to go to people's heads a bit more. And
yeah, I think the final's going to get emotional.
The final could be very heated by lots of things.
Yep. So to you captains, just to make sure you're aware of what the rules are for the final, it's going to be a 25-lap race. The first lap is rolling, but it's on the grid positions.
Right.
Okay.
All right, we'll pass that.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Thanks very much, guys. Cool. Excellent. So we're just getting ready for the final now. We're just putting the last bits of preparation in.
Is this a good time to discuss best presented team?
Yes, we are going to announce that now. Jordan, over to you. Sponsored by J-Race Media, of course.
Yep. Obviously, this was decided very, very late on Thursday night. Obviously, when Brett and Ben were both getting very, very excited at the prospect of racing their cars, but they wouldn't even let me or James know what they were racing. It was a very well kept secret. And they were the ones that actually come up with the idea. And they originally said £5 of the 30 should go to best presented team, but I stepped in and said, no, if we're going to do that, I'll sponsor £5 from J Race Media. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And despite some very, very smart efforts on Northern Bangers' side, especially with Drew Wilson in that very, very smart Jag, obviously the Potts brothers, Danny and Jamie, very smart efforts for them as well as 478 Craig Royal, Weasel Jr. I am going to give it to Totally Trashed for the £8. I think that is fantastic organisation, and they're all matching as well. Obviously, check out Totally Trashed Banger Photos on Facebook because they posted screenshots of all £8. So yeah, fantastic effort from them guys. I know they were both very, very excited about it all. So yeah, Totally Trashed are the best presented team for tonight.
Okay, I think we're just about getting ready for the final. I've given Matt the thumbs up to get this started. So it's double points for the final. If Northern Bangers get some points here, it's going to be a win for them. They have been brilliant all night. You couldn't begrudge them. But a silver wash or a cage wash here, I think we're going to. It's still all up in the air. That's the beauty of the double points final.
Yeah, it certainly is, and even though it is double points, they do need a good result. I think Totally Trashed and definitely Northern Bangers need either to get all 4 cars in the points, or they need to get at least 3 cars in the points to make it go down to the DD.
Okay, so drivers roll on grid positions. Oh, the leaders don't seem to be going anywhere at the moment.
So we have said that this, as James said, the first lap is rolling. I think our pace car left, driven by Stephen Snight, is just going to go and tell them. I think they've got the message now, though. So a massive, massive thank you to all drivers for doing that. Again, very good communication with the team captains as well. But James, can you take him away on the rolling lap, please?
Yep, so we've got the yellow flag out. Shady's pulling to the infield. Has he got a problem? Does he just want to go from the back? It's probably a messy roll in that, but it's very difficult to control. And as we're going into turn 3 and 4, here we go. We are green for the final of WEBACRASH. And we are led away by Totally Trash, reading 32.
Harvey Webb in second for Northern Bangers, Totally Trashed in third with Devon Usher, and Northern Bangers in fourth with Jack Bunyan. So not a good start for Cage. It's all kicking off on the exit of turn number 4 there. Massive pile up. Let's see who comes out of this in the lead. I believe it is Devon Usher who takes up the lead. Great driving there from Devon.
Yeah, it was great. Everyone knows how fast Devon is around a Wreckfest circuit, but it is, well, at the moment, Totally Trashed doing what they need to do with the leader, but they need to. There are 3 of them just sitting outside the points position. Can they do that silver wash to take it to the DD?
We'll see 2 Totally Trashed cars like getting caught up on turn number 2. That's not what they need right now.
And it's Jack Bunyan in the lead, I believe.
Yep, Jack Bunyan in the lead. I think Harvey Webb in second position and Dippy in third. That's Northern Bangers 1, 2, 3. And with double points on the line, that could really make them put one hand on the virtual WEBACRASH trophy.
Yeah, I think 40 points will probably give them the win. Haven't done
I think that Dippy got spun on the home straight there, and that's let Motorhead of Team Cage into third.
But it is Northern Bangers at the moment. Oh, that was a great little bit of dodging there.
Yeah, that was a great bit of dodging as we are on board with Harvey Webb.
And you can see from the Mark 1 reel, he's definitely won a raffle.
Yeah, he's won a virtual raffle. That's very good, yeah.
But it is Harvey Webb.
You've got to be...
Sorry, Jordan.
You've got to be a very good driver to race with a Mark 1 wheel.
I heard it gives.
I think
Yeah,
Stephen Bolton said it gives him an extra 50 horsepower when he uses one. So yeah, it's definitely given Harvey an extra 50 tonight the way he's performed.
I think I was literally about to make exactly the same joke. But it is Harvey Webb and then Jack Bunyan for Northern Bangers, and it's totally trashed in 3 and 4. As it stands at the moment, that'll be 70 points to Northern Bangers. This could be the win.
Still a long way to go, though. We're not even halfway through this 25-lap final. The Garmo in third is a very, very quick driver. Oh, great avoidance. Oh, no, he just gets hit by the second car there. I think that's Jack Bunyan we were on board with there.
And we're 10 laps in now. It's getting tense, Jordan. It's getting tense.
It is getting tense. You can cut the tension with a knife. At the moment, God knows what it's like for these guys actually racing and being in the voice chats on Discord.
And we're currently running with 244 Jack Bunyan in second. We can see as he goes in, it's piling up on the corner. He picks his way out. He's got orange in front of him, so he doesn't need to go in there. He just backs off and guides his car through.
Yeah, he's good driving. He realised that his teammate Dippy was in front of him there, and he didn't want to take him out as. I say that. Northern Bangers car's gliding with each other, and Harvey Webb gets slowed up. Luckily, he's got Jack Bunyan acting as a rear gunner for him.
But the leader does find his way through. Oh, and you get
teammate there, goes head on into someone from Totally Trashed there.
Northern Bangers have been so well organised here. This is fantastic team racing.
It certainly is, and I think that was the definition of taking one for a team there from Weasel Junior. There's a Josh Match in there just trying to go in on him. Really slows up and tries to take out Harvey.
Oh, but he just gets he gets him.
And he spins him out.
But he recovered well, didn't he? He recovered well.
Recovered very well when he's still in the lead of the race as we're heading into the final 10 laps of this one now. 9 to go.
At the moment, it is looking like a Northern Bangers 1-2. Totally Trashed her in 3-4. Oh, they were.
Motorhead has just gone up to 14 page.
As they go, great bit of driving there from Garmo. As he's moved himself up to second. If one of the Totally Trash guys can turn around and stop Harvey, they could do what they need.
Oh, great following in from Willow there on Jack and Junior. Absolutely great shot there from Drew Wilson.
Oh, Matt is still going.
And he'll be looking for that revenge shot as well. But it is Luke Garmston now up into second position. He's behind Harvey. But Jack Bunyan left Northern Bangers just moves back into second position as Devon Usher tries to stop Harvey.
Exactly what he needed. If one of the Totally Trash guys can stop Harvey, the 70 points they'll get for 1-2 could be enough to keep them in it.
Could be. Kieran McCarver comes through. He's currently running in fourth position. And that Mercedes limo, again, a very, very nicely presented car by Kieran. So a massive thank you to him for sorting that out tonight.
Oh, that's a great
As Harvey Webb gets slowed up there by Luke Garmston. Jack Bunyan, again, acting as a big gunner very well when he jacked Match in there. And
yeah, and it is another Bangers 1-2. This could be enough. Kieran McIver.
Oh, that's great avoiding action. They just went outside, inside to avoid the Totally Trashed and caged car. But
and he's getting a 3-lap board. 3-lap board this time.
I think Jack led just up. Oh,
Harvey has to take to the shale, but he had nowhere else to go there. But he is still just finding his way through. And it's going to be 2 laps this time for 6-2-2. Oh, Matt Josie tries to do it, but just misses. Harvey finds his way through from the Totally Trash car that was waiting for him on the exit of turn 2. And it is 1 lap this time.
And up this time, now's the time to do it, guys. If you want to stop Harvey and potentially stop Northern Bangers, then you need to do it. Motorhead up in 2nd position with Totally Trashed running 3rd and 4th. That could potentially see the title go down to the DD. Harvey comes through.
Flags are out. And it is, yeah. Double check and flags out for the final. Harvey Webb, 62, the race winner. What a great race. He really had to work for that.
Yeah, he did. And it must be said, great driving as well from Jack Bunyan. He knew when he had to just go in and wreck cars and sacrifice his 2nd position for the good of the team and for the good of Harvey. And he did just that.
All the Mangas have been very organised the whole way through. And I think that probably, I haven't done the maths yet, but that probably has won it for them. As we can see, one of the cage cars there with missing a wheel.
I'm just trying to think. There's a maximum of 30 points.
So that will, it will give Northern Mangas
for the final level of DD. So I think we will confirm very shortly, but Northern Bangers are your 2020 WEBACRASH Teams Champions. We will get Dippy into the commentary box in a minute for a little interview.
Probably after the D-Day.
Probably after the DD. James, do you want to run through the finishing positions in that one?
Yeah, of course. So in 1st position was Harvey Webb in 622 for Northern Bangers. In 2nd was Reedy, number 32 for Totally Trashed. In 3rd was Kieran McIver, Motorhead, 811 for Cage. And in 3rd was Luke Armston for Totally Trashed. So after that, I'm just very quickly running through the scores here, but that is 40 points for Northern Bangers. That is 30 points for Totally Trashed, which puts them probably, that is 40 points for Totally Trashed, because they also got 3rd, and 20 points for Caged. So as the scores as they stand, Northern Bangers 180. They are the champions. They have won WEBACRASH. Totally Trashed on 95 and Caged on 55.
Well, fair play to Northern Bangers, fair play to Dippy, fair play to Drew. They've been absolutely superb value tonight. As you said, James, well organised. And when it comes down to it, that's, what you've got to be in team meetings.
Sorry, just 1 second. I'm going to quickly go into the chats to talk to the teams. I'll be back in a second.
Tula, Kino, just going to deliver the news. Tula teams... I'm probably just going to see if there's any other discussions that the respective captains want to put across to our steward of the meeting. But like I said, congratulations to fantastic racing from them guys tonight. Frederick Leesden, Drew Wilson, Shady Goff, Jack Bunyan, Danny Potts, Jamie Potts, Craig Royal and Harvey Webb. Absolutely brilliant from you boys. And it must be said, well done to Totally Trashed as well for winning the best presented team. Obviously, the cars were painted by Brett Gedney with help from Carl Bantic as well. I've heard from obviously we heard Ben say earlier that they've had some really late nights up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's number 11, Luke Garmston, 20, Josh Matchin, 32, Callum Reed, 162, Brent Shaw, 318, Daryl Page, 466, Ben Aves, and 610, Devon Usher. Kino, got any news?
Hello, I am back. So I just went to speak to the captains, let them know they're also the DD, and let them know that Northern Bangers probably have one. So this DD is now, if the other bit was for sport, this is for pride. So we'll see
yes,
what
it
happens.
is.
Yeah. So we're just waiting for the final few drivers. Last little bit of pulling out. Hard hitting final. 25 laps, of course. It's going to take a bit of time to get their virtual cars ready for the D-Day.
See, they're probably hammering away in the virtual pits got the virtual disc cutters, the virtual hybrids. They're all desperate to get out for this DD for one last crash. And as you said, James, fighting for pride.
Yeah, no, this isn't Alpha Pride. It's the DD, so the rules are as follows. There should be no attacking from the infield, but any direction. In fact, I'm just going to remind the drivers of that.
Yeah, the way things were going earlier on, I think you better. Obviously, we have had a few comments saying racing's been good tonight from the drivers, as always in the Cage World Series, and that's really good to hear. And Jack, I think, is going to go to the pub and celebrate by the sounds of it. So yeah, well done, Jack. You can go and have a cold beer. Ian's back after delivering the message.
Yeah, I am. I find the best way to deal with drivers is to quickly say my message and then leave before anyone can argue.
Good tactic. Like it.
I'll tell you what, working like the amount of respect I have for the students I work with now, like I obviously respected them so much before, but after this, I can see how difficult their job is, and this is just virtual.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I think after the first meeting, I wrote about that in my column for Wolfsburg magazine. I said that how much respect I'd gained for stewards and for promoters as well, just trying to keep drivers happy, trying to keep spectators happy, and trying to keep themselves happy as well, because there's no point doing something that you're not enjoying. But yeah, it's good to see that everyone is enjoying it.
So hopefully, we're just waiting for the last couple of drivers to be ready. Matt Josie tonight, of course, is the admin on the server, is the only member of the Cage team that's there. We're still waiting for him to ready up.
I think we've got a reduced entry for this DD, by the looks of it, James.
Yeah, we've got a few loaded up now the results clear, but we're about to go. So drivers can attack from any direction, but they can't attack from or to the infield, although there will be a little bit of leniency as long as it's not ridiculous. And as we start there, as they're going into the power bend. Oh, sorry, no, in the Cams bend, sorry. There's already a pile up. John Brittle's facing the wrong way.
Jamie Potts involved there as well. Drew Wilson just getting through with help from Devil Pagey. Shady just gets hit by Harvey Webber's teammate. Well, now they've won the title, they can hit each other. As Owen Hunter and the Jag just gets spun out, and he gets hit head on by Craig Royal.
Potts is going for the head on.
Jamie Potts.
Head on 466.
Yeah, indeed. Stopping Ben Aves there, and again going in on Motorhead. Here comes Buddy. Oh, not really colliding with anyone until Harvey Webb just goes in on him there.
And the TT boys. Devon was hit. I think he hit Reedy and his own teammate on the middle there. Of course, now the points are decided. It doesn't really matter. And as they go, Pagey Hungamo there going into turn one.
There's Harvey Webb on Motorhead. As Gandalf goes in on Willow. Jack Bunyan and Craig Wall go in. Jeffro Jr. goes in. Dippy goes in on Gandalf as well. Freddie goes in head on. Reedy, who's he going to do? Oh, he's just missed both of them. He's just going to go around and wait for another hit to pop up.
There's a go. Oh, what a great hit there. 62 hole. Oh, Jack Bunyan gets fired into the corner. But he comes and collects him on the back. And Danny Potts being collected by Devon Usher as well.
Yeah, it's all kicking off later. And look at Ben's car. Ben Aves. Absolutely ruined. As you said, James, that is totally trashed, that car.
Oh, it's lovely when these puns do the work for you.
Yeah, it is. When you've got two teams called Totally Trashed and Caged, it really comes in handy as Drew Wilson goes in on Devon Usher there. Buddy James gets jacked by Harvey Webb.
And so
Reedy just lunging there on Freddie.
Dippy put it in.
Dippy goes in as well.
I think the drivers at this point are just trying to see how much they can get away with just to keep their cars a little bit fresh from the last stage of the DT, but there are some big hits going in.
As Pagey gets jacked by Jeffro Jr. I think Reedy is out of it.
Yeah,
he'll be back in action at the Ville Vauxhall Heath Stadium next Saturday for the BWS run, so we wish Reedy the best of luck for that one.
So Garmo put
Buddy James gets jacked there.
Just as Garmo put Harvey in pretty hard as well.
Great following in there from Motorhead on Dippy. Devon Usher goes in, John Bricknell's going in, Shady's going in as well. Weezy Jr. gets T-boned by Jeffro Jr. Go on, James.
I was going to say that the pride of Cage is now on the shoulders of Owen Hunt and Kieran McIver, I think. Oh, and Buddy's still going.
Them two have been absolutely superb tonight. So
head on the start finish line. Head on the start finish line as Harvey Webb meets number 20 from Totally Trashed on the start finish line.
Yeah, that's Josh Matchin there, the former junior rod driver. Harvey comes through in the Toyota Supra, the rapid Toyota Supra, it must be said. Drew Wilson's out of it, Willow. It's unfortunate for him, but he's had a great night in that very, very smart XJ6.
Yeah, and I'm issuing a blue flag. Although, just as I say that, everyone then obliges by meeting each other on the Kent Cam's turn. Jethro's going on Oppo. He was looking for Harvey Webb. He missed it.
Who says banger drivers don't listen? As Jack Bunyan goes head on over into Jeffro Jr. Devon there just couldn't quite connect with 5 to 8.
And Harvey Webb's on Oppo. Who's he looking for? Oh, he tried to get Garmo, but just missed it. John Brickle as well, just avoided, but he's going down the back straight. Who's he going to meet? Oh! Huge hit in front of the Yokohama stand.
And he hits Josh Matchin over, and then he goes head on into Freddie further down the back straight. John Bricknell goes in on a dead car. I think that was Harvey Webb. Garmo piles in as well.
That car is now well and truly out if it wasn't already.
I think by my count we've got 8 cars left. Possibly 9 if Jack Bunyan's still in it. No, I think Jack retired earlier on. Actually, is John Bricknell gets followed in there by Garmo on turn 3. Is John still in it? I think he's only got 3 wheels on his wagon as Freddie piles in as well.
He's still trying to get involved. Oh, and Shady takes a head on.
And Jack is still in it, actually. Jack Bunyan, I've just seen him rejoin. He's coming down the back straight in behind his Northern Bangers teammate, Freddie.
Oh, Jack Bunyan.
Oh, he goes in on Bricknell there. Great shot by Bunyan.
Oh, and Jack Bunyan does attack on the infield, but I'm going to allow that for now. Because he's trying to spin it around and get himself back on track. They are circulating a bit. They're trying to find their hits.
We will see if we can get a blue flag to him soon enough.
They are still circulating. Kieran McIver's still out there, of course. Although Devon Usher's just put him into the barrier, and Freddie's going to follow in. What, Shady and Garmo?
Will Shady go in? Shady probably will go in. Yes, he does. Garmo follows him in as well. Motorhead's still going there.
Devon Usher's turning it round. Who's he looking for? Freddie's on Oppo. Is he going to hit Kieran? No, he's looking for Garmo, I think. Oh, he put himself in.
Jack Bunyan just hitting him over the rear wall there, but Motorhead's now chasing him on opposite. Oh, nearly collided.
Oh, Motorhead. Oh!
That's 2 or 3 rolls from Motorhead there, just clipping the marker tires.
Still going. I think he's going to. Oh, no, he's looking for. Who's he looking for? Who's he getting after? Devon's just in front of him. Devon's now going to go to Freddie. Huge head on, and here comes Kieran. Oh!
Kieran goes in on Freddie. Oh, he's going. Oh, Josh and Garmo just avoiding him there. He meet someone else there on turn number 2. Freddie in that Chevy Caprice wagon. He's going to go in and matching. Oh! Just colliding with him there.
And Kieran's on opposite looking for Garmo.
Oh, no, he's gone in on... Who's he going on? I think that was... Shouldn't quite see the number. I think it was someone from Totally Trashed.
It was Shady in 99 that Kieran hit there as he went in on the Burton Power Bend.
Well, that's a great spot by you, Marshall Keno. There's Garmo there just avoiding Shady.
Oh, they're all
Garmo.
bit of cat and mouse here on turn 1 and 2. Freddie pulls up before hitting his teammate. Kieran McIver hits
Motorhead goes in on Shady.
They are
getting into the last few knockings of this one there.
I think we've got 4 cars left.
Maiden WEBACRASH.
4 cars left, and I think they all know the limitations of what's left in the car. That they're all looking for the one.
Going for?
I thought I was going to be a head-on.
Freddie's going down the back straight. He's going into turns 1 and 2 there. The Brisker route or the Superstocks route. He's going to go in on Shady. Oh, just a gentle love tap. Oh.
Between all the drivers turned away from each other then. Let Kieran McIver have a little hit.
Yeah, I think that was just a gentle little congratulations kiss by them two. But Motorhead certainly no congratulations there. Absolutely storming jacking on Freddie.
Oh, great
Freddie
hit for
gets
Kieran
his
McIver.
revenge.
I think that put Freddie out. Garman's had a big hit there on Kieran McIver. I think we're down to 3 now, Jordan.
Yeah, we are down to final 3. I think that hit did take out Freddie, but Freddie's been an absolute star tonight. Probably completed.
Come on, Kieran, get some pride.
You can probably count the number of laps Freddie's completed on one hand tonight, as he's been an uppo most of it. Kieran has been known to be a bit of a DD masterclass in the Cage World Series so far. I think he's won a few DDs. He goes in on Garmo. Shady's still there in his yank.
It's 1 from each team left.
This is what we like to see.
They're all going for each other as well. No one's hiding. It's the last 3 and they're going. Kieran's looking for Garmo, I think. Oh, how much are left in these cars? How much are left? Now Garmo's after Kieran. He's chasing him down. Shady's coming the other way.
Garmo takes a goes in on Garmo there. Just seeing if I can see Shady. Yeah, he's down there on turns 3 and 4. Oh,
I think he's lost his wheel now. I think he's on last knockings. Garmo's he gets sandwiched. Absolutely sandwiched by Kieran McIver and Luke Armstrong. And that's it. There are 2 left now. It's Kieran McIver and Luke Armstrong.
Does anyone want a Shady sandwich while we're at it? Absolutely superb hits there from Motorhead and Garmo.
Oh, God. There they go. The last 2
meet each other on the nose.
They're trying to finish each other off. Garmo's car looks absolutely squashed from the front, but he does put another hit on Kieran.
How much more has Lap Crown got left in it, and how much more has that got in it?
Red and checkered.
And that is it. Red and checkered.
Kieran McIver, followed by Luke Armstrong. So it's caged in the D-Day, followed by Totally Trashed. Thank you to everyone listening. That was fantastic. Hopefully we should be joined by some team captains now. I'm just going to go and chase them up, Jordan, while you recap the D-Day.
Yeah, well, it was a superb DD. Started very heavily. Some great action on turns 3 and 4. And then there was a little bit of a lull in the middle. We got the blue flags out, and then when it got down to the final weight or so cars, they were obliged with some great hits there. Fair play to Kumar, the Motorhead. Currently leading the Cage World Series, and he takes another DD win here tonight.
So the final points,
absolutely superb to him.
So the final points for Stan Jordan, it's 180 to Northern Mangers, 105 to Totally Trashed, and 75 to Caged. So we do have the captain of Northern Mangers with us, Danny Potts. Danny, absolutely fantastic from your team. You seem to have the right blend with your rodders out there and your blockers, and I suppose your strategy has worked well.
Absolutely. I said I didn't want to give too much away at the start, but we had a plan, and it paid off.
So in the first few Cage World Series meetings, you went out there to wreck, and then as you then started to rod, you climbed your way up the leaderboard. I'm guessing that you were there to win the points tonight, and you had your boys behind you, making sure the path was clear.
Yeah, I chose the Merc for the reliability, and because if I do needed to crash and I needed to stay around, it's one of them that's not too bad to put the bumper in if need be. So
congratulations. I don't know if you know yet. Fair enough, you need time to think. But so the £30 bet between the team captains, it's Northern Mangers that get to choose the charity of their choice. I don't know if you know exactly where that's going yet, but if you do,
I do. I've been running meetings on my league, and when we've done prize money meetings, if people don't want to take the prize money, what I've been doing is I've been donating it to the. I'm just trying to find the link to it now. It's the mental health charity. Bugger, can't remember the name of it now. This is typical. And a little bit embarrassing. I can't remember what it's called. Just 2 seconds. It's on my.
As long as the charity is not called Northern Bangers.
No, we're not all like Cage, you know.
Not all in it for the money.
That's it.
Speak for yourself. I'll get paid in Mars bars, if that.
The Mind mental health charity.
That's an absolutely fantastic cause. You'll see. Again, it's a charity you'll see in quite a lot of places. I know that in the football league teams from Championship downwards, Mind have been sponsoring them, doing a lot of great work. Mental health is something not a lot of people talk about, but it's something that needs to be publicised. Again, was the motto, it's okay not to be okay. So it's a great charity. We'll make sure that gets paid shortly. But yeah, absolutely fantastic drive from you and your team today. And thank you for that.
Thank you, Ben, as well. It's been good racing all night.
Thank you.
Same to you, lads, on the Cage team.
No worries. Thank you, Danny.
Cheers.
And to Ben Aves, you win the £5 charity donation for Best Presenter Team. Those skins were absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
They were absolutely fantastic. Do you know where your donation's going?
Yep. Our donation will be going to Autism for Kids, and we've already said that we'll double the donation up to £10.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. And again, thank you. I mean, it was, even though the points look so far spread now, going into the final, it looked like you could have got a silver.
It could have been close.
It could have. Going into the final, Northern Mangers had the win, but if you'd have got 1, 2, 3, or three of the 4 points positions.
Oh, hats off to Northern Bangers. They're too fast. They chose the right cars. You know, we didn't want to win necessarily, but winning would have been brilliant. We came out to put on a bit of a show, and hopefully we've done that for everyone watching.
Yeah, no, hopefully everyone at home enjoyed it. Thank you to yourself and Danny. Absolutely fantastic to have everyone together for a meeting like that. I know there's a few controversial points. I'm sure there'll be a bit of chat about that later, but to yourself and Danny and to everyone that's gone into this meeting, so Brett and Kyle and everyone else that's helped along the way, it's been my pleasure to be commentating on it. So thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. It was a great meeting, to be fair. Brilliant meeting. Some top hits.
Thank you. Cheers, Danny. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers. See you later.
Cheers, lads. Thanks.
So I think we're just about ready to wrap it up here, Jordan. Thank you again to Stephen, who was, again, absolutely fantastic stepping into the camera pretty much at the last minute. And we appreciate all the effort that he does for us. There's no words to do it, because otherwise I'd have been trying to do the camera, jumping back and forth, as well as trying to jump back and forth to do the stewarding and the rule enforcement. So Jordan, I don't know if you want to say anything as well, but it's just how indebted we are to Stephen and the work he does.
Yeah, obviously, again, a massive thank you to Stephen. You can check out his Facebook page, Wreckfest Live Streaming. Like I said, basically streams most nights, if not then definitely once a week, with something to do with Wreckfest, whether it's racing saloon stock cars, micro bangers, unlimited bangers, or even ninja carts he was racing the other night at Kings Lynn. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. And a massive thank you to everyone for tuning in. A massive thank you to Matt, to Ben and Brett, and a massive thank you to Danny and Drew and Jamie as well for sorting out the teams, for sorting out the skins, and for spending their Saturday evening with us. And it's been absolutely fantastic once again, and we do really appreciate all our efforts.
We do also have the cage captain, Matt Josie, here. Final word from you, Matt.
Yeah, it didn't quite go to plan. Before the meeting, I had a team talk with our small team, which was changed a little bit last minute. I think, my personal aim was to be a bit of a nuisance on track, go wrecking. We had some good drivers lined up. Obviously, Crispy couldn't make it tonight. He was going to be a rodder in the team. I put Kieran McIver down as a rodder because he's top of the points chart in the CWS. And unfortunately, he told me just before the meet started he's got a Merc limo, but he did do well in it. He won the DD and of course won, I think it was Heat 5 or Heat 6, one of the other ones. So he done good what he had. But I think a lot of us has had these sort of bigger, stronger cars, but we just couldn't get the results, and I'm not surprised. The Northern Bangs were very hard to stop. Tried to get dippy a few times, failed miserably some of those occasions.
I think at one point I saw you put yourself in the barrier.
Honestly, it was embarrassing. I could hear the laughter when the virtual crowd. When the car I had in the end was very strong. I was happy with it. Done its job. I only got wrecked, I think, once or twice in that meeting. But in terms of the points as a team, it just didn't work. But oh well, it happens.
Well, hopefully we set out what we aimed to do with this, which was to put together 3 of the biggest banger pages for something people could watch and enjoy. So thanks to everyone listening at home. Again, thanks to my co-commentator, Jordan. I know we're not usually in the box together, apart from in real life where we did the Cage Open. But it's been my absolute pleasure to be sitting up here with you. It's been great. Thanks to Matt. Thanks to Ben. Thanks to Brett. Thanks to Dippy. Thanks to everyone else who helped us. And again, more than anyone, thanks to Stephen. This has been Caged. Thank you very much. We'll be back in 2 weeks at Hensford Hills Raceway. We'll be back in about 3 weeks with the podcast. And as always, you could find us at Cage Bangers on Facebook. And also thanks to Totally Trashed and all the bangers who as well you can find on Facebook. And I think that's it. Good night, everyone. Thank you.